Hello, everyone. This is John Jenkins, and I wanted to bring you a video. Uh, this is another Gangstalking Havana Syndrome video, and basically, this is a video that's focused more on the topic of regret. So I've been a part of the Gangstalking Havana Syndrome program at least since 2005. So I was 20 years old at the time. And yeah, at least 2005. I was 20 years old at the time, the end of 2005. And the more I think about it, I mean, it's crazy because I noticed it in 2005, but it's quite possible that this has been going on my entire life because maybe because if you read books like 1996 by Gloria Naylor, um, she was talking about the same things back in 1996. So I was born in 1985, so there is a possibility that this has been going on subliminally, subliminal messaging since at least 1996, if not 1985. So this could have been going on for the past 38 years, and I just didn't realize it until I was 20 years old. And that's the real danger of this. Is a lot of people, they say it's not happening, but if it's subliminal, if it's going on in the background, it's even more dangerous than if you know it's happening. So anyway, this started in uh, 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 for me. I started noticing it in 2005, and it started off with the V2K, which is basically just sound waves, amplified sound waves. So and um, so so the question is, do I feel regret? So basically, there was so basically the purpose of the gang stalking is to harass you to the point at which you commit a crime. So the purpose of gang stalking is to harass you to the point at which you commit a crime. And I resisted at first. I was like, it's like it was. I had been exposed to this before. So my entire life growing up, you know, my entire life growing up, I basically I would get in school. I would get beat up every week, but if I defended myself, I would be the one who got in trouble. So when I would be attacked in school, they would let the attackers go. But if I defended myself, I would be the one who got detention. And and so I knew how the American system worked, but I didn't know that people would expend this much energy. So basically, what happened was that I resisted. I resisted for the most part, and then 2015. No, I believe it was September 23rd of 2015. It was the same day. It was the same day that Laquan McDonald got shot. It was the same day that Laquan McDonald got shot. I think it was September 23rd of 2015. Um, and so what they would do was that put poison in my food, and I don't know how, but they were able to predict which food I would buy. They were able to predict which foods I would buy, which can of soup or which whatever. They were able to predict which burger I would buy from McDonald's or whatever, and they were able to put poison in my food. And then 2015 came around, and I committed multiple crimes on September 23rd of 2015. Multiple crimes. Obviously, I didn't kill anybody. I didn't maim anybody. I didn't kill anybody, but I did commit multiple crimes. And so I, to be honest with you, I mean, you know, there's a famous quote. I forget who the quote is by. Uh, there was a version of the quote that was attributed to Mark Twain, but now they're saying that he didn't say that. It wasn't his quote. So uh, basically the common part of the quote says that you will regret the things you didn't do in life more than the things you did do in life. And to an extent that is true. To an extent, in the long run, so they say when you're young, you regret the things that you did more than the things that you didn't do, because it's your ego. You know, you want to look perfect. You want to look like you never made a mistake. It's your ego. But when you get older and you're like, man, I mean, I'm about to die, and you know, I didn't do what I really wanted to do. So basically, you know, this is a video about regret in the context of Gangstalking, Havana Syndrome, and basically the question is, do I feel regret for what happened? And the answer is yes. I know. Like I said, the quote says that when I get older, basically when I get really old, I'm gonna regret the things that I didn't do more than the things that I did. But in a real sense, I do regret what happened. Uh, 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 in 2015, and so you know, a lot of it has to do with the fact that I saw it coming. So as soon as the gang stalking started, it was obvious that all they were trying to do was to force me to commit a crime. It was obvious that all they were trying to do was to force me to commit a crime, and so um, and I resisted just for that reason, because that was really, I mean, it was so obvious that they were just trying to, they wanted to claim victimhood later, so they wanted to force me to commit a crime. And so basically, um, I had no, I basically, the real problem was that I saw it coming, and I should have known that that was their only goal. Um, um, but I did have severe regrets. I had, I was severely depressed for many years. I had suicidal thoughts, and but it was instructive in the sense that you know it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about life in the sense that what has meaning, what has value, I should say. What has value? Does a life have value if it's not uh, 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 living like Jeff Bezos? Does a life have value if it's not uh, if it's not perfect in every way and without any hardship or blemishes? Is a life more valuable if it's without adversity? And that's a question that I'm gonna have to wrestle with for the rest of my life, because I mean, I shouldn't say this. I really shouldn't say this because everyone, every pretty much pretty much pretty much every rich black person in America has something in the past that they're not proud of. So, I mean, pretty much every rich uh, uh, from Oprah Winfrey to Jay Z. Jay Z almost went to prison for stabbing somebody, and obviously Kanye West is a guy that everyone likes to bash on nowadays. But like I said, I shouldn't say this because every black person who has ever become successful has dealt with some kind of adversity, and it almost seems as if the more successful the black person is, the more adversity they've overcome. For example, David Stewart, he talked about his life and the things he had to overcome. And Oprah Winfrey was an extreme version. And then you had all the issues that Kanye West went through, and all the issues that 50 Cent and even some guys like even guys like Don Lemon and Larry Elder. Larry Elder has a $20 million net worth. Larry Elder has a $20 million net worth. So like I said, I shouldn't say this because there really are no successful black people in America who haven't gone through some extreme forms of adversity, who don't have things in the past that they're not proud of. But it's really I mean, that sort of supports my argument that it's really hard to become successful if you have done things in your past that you're not proud of. It's really hard to become successful if you have suffered adversity, especially if you're black in America. Uh, but like I said, I shouldn't say that because there really are no black people in America who will become successful who have not gone through extreme forms of adversity. Even the Clueless girl, I forgot her name, the black woman who was on the Clueless TV show, who became the conservative speaker. I forgot her name, but so even obviously you can obviously say Tupac and Biggie. So those are the two big ones. So they certainly had adversity. I mean, Tupac got shot 5 times, and he was rapping that same week. I mean, so like I said, I mean, you know, it is really hard to become successful as a black man if you have adversity in your past, even though so. But like I said, I do have extreme regrets, but there's a silver lining. It's like, for example, I got to live long enough to see affirmative action overturned. So, for those of you who don't know, affirmative action in America was overturned recently, and so basically, basically affirmative action was just an underhanded way for people to deny black people jobs. So they would say, you know, because of affirmative action, we have these minority set asides. So all the companies would, at least in Chicago, all the companies would pay, these exorbitant kickbacks to the politicians, so that they could be allowed to not have any minority set asides and just hire all white people. That's how it works in pretty much any liberal city in America. So it was just another method of denying jobs to black people. Uh, but you know, the without long story short, without affirmative action, uh, uh, black people will have a stepping stone to success, and I got to live long enough to see that happen. And if I had killed myself back in 2015, I never would have been able to experience that. So it's the little things that I notice, that it's the little things that make life worthwhile. It's not the big things. The big things sort of like, will I become successful? Uh, you know, that's not what keeps me going. It's the little things like seeing affirmative action eliminated. Um, those are the things that really make life worth living. So that's all I wanted to say today, and I hope you enjoyed your day. And I'll make my next video soon. And thank you very much, and goodbye.